here comes candidate number 2, Queen Karen Montecillo. And grace, make way for candidate number 3, Queen Solen Garcia. 4, Queen Brittany Bali. Champion Camilo. Wearing her confidence like a crown, candidate number 7, Queen Cassie Bakula. Elaine Ramos. Once again, our 9 lovely candidates in the long gown.
but also a reminder of our collective responsibility to create a better world. The Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, guide us in addressing the most urgent challenges of our time, from equality and education to climate action and peace. As we honor queens who stand for purpose, let us also be inspired by the goals that call each of us to lead with heart, to act with courage, and to dream of a more inclusive and sustainable future, to deliver an empowering message rooted in these global goals. Let us now welcome our SDG advocates for the evening. And by SDG advocates, I mean our beautiful queens. They are going to stand once again in front of the microphone, and queens, this time I will be calling you one by one so that you can deliver your speech as our SDG advocates. And just to be clear and fair, we are only going to allot 1 minute for each of you to deliver your SDG speech. And that being said, let's get started. Here is our Queen of San Jose, candidate number 1.
sitting on a dusty floor, on a tiny house on a large poor community of Metro Manila. She has an eagerness to write, yet there's no pen, pictures, and books. But she has this dream, that education is the only key to a life beyond property. Now, imagine a little boy named Miguel. He's from an urban slum in the Philippines. His father is a jeepney driver. Her mother is selling vegetables in the market. He's a very smart kid. But unfortunately, he needs to drop out from school because his siblings needs to study as well. At a very young age, we have dream of becoming teachers, lawyers, and even a successful person. But how will we achieve this dream if we don't have the right, equal, and quality education? That's why I'm an advocate of SDG number 4, quality education. And I hope one day, no children was left behind because they are poor, nor capable of becoming a school. That's why I'm standing in front of you, not just a candidate, but an epitome of hope and a pillar of change to step forward for a bigger change in our country.
Thank you so much. Candidate number 1. Let's keep going. Here is our Point of Sunset candidate number 2.
Good evening. I will start my advocacy with a very powerful line. If we have love in Mother Earth, there's life with humanity. Dahil sa sobrang daming trahedya at sakuna na nangyayari sa ating mundo, hindi natin alam kung paano natin ito iaangat o tutulungan. Pero ikaw mismo tao ang tunay na sagot kung paano natin aalagaan at iingatan ang ating inang kalikasan sa simpleng disiplina na gagawin natin. That's why I choose to advocate the Sustainable Development Goals number 13, climate change. Why? Because without a safe or a stable planet, there are a lot of goals that just a dreams. There is no gender equality, no quality education, and no peace or justice on a dying earth. We cannot survive any progress if we cannot help our environment or our future. That's why I advocate the climate action, because the true action we really need in our change or in ourselves, because change starts within us. Good evening.
Thank you so much. Candidate number 2. Let's continue. Here is Queen of San Jose 2025, candidate number 3.
Judges, good evening. Of all the 17 Sustainable Development Goals that was created by United Nations, I believe it is goal number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure that I find the most powerful. Because without innovation, we cannot solve climate change. Without infrastructure, education doesn't reach. And without inclusive industry, equality will just become a dream. As a software engineer by profession, I believe that we need more inclusive industries that would support rural local talents such as Bulacan, Cavite, and Rizal. Instead of focusing in tech capital cities like Manila and BGC, because there are more talents beyond these borders. Infrastructure doesn't mean that it's just road, bridges. Infrastructure means internet that would reach each and every island child from far-flung areas for them to achieve education, because they also have a dream to become one someday. And I believe that we need to create innovative applications that would create a safer online space and a mental support at one click. Because after all, it is not that how we automate, but how we advocate for these things. It is not about what we build, but it's about to whom we build it for. Good evening, Magkaibigan.
Candidate number 3. Next we have Queen of Sunset 2025, candidate number 4.
Happy Pride and everyone. My advocacy is all about good health and self-love. Being contented and knowing who you are and love yourself more is a defense for any discrimination in this world. Love yourself more, everybody. A case, HIV, LGBT community is not a reason. Real men and real women must be tested. Love your health more, love yourself more. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate number 4. Now let's call on our Queen of Sunset 2025, candidate number 5.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Sunset. The sustainable development goal that I'll choose, it would be no poverty. Poverty is not just a lack of income. It's a lack of opportunity, of dignity, and of food. And I, as a proud youth of San Jose, I believe that the true change begins when we unite as a community. That's why my advocacy is all about of our SK officials and share with the local governments. Because the SK has the voice, the power, the platform to uplift lives. Together, we can break the cycle of poverty by creating opportunities, inspiring action, and giving the young generation to dream and succeed. Poverty can end not through charity, but through unity, leadership, and compassion. Kaya mga kababayan, sabay-sabay natin simulan ang pagbabago ng kahirapan sa ating bayan. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much. Candidate number 5. Up next is Queen of Sunset 2025, candidate number 6.
Good evening, everyone. My advocacy is no poverty. Bilang isang babae nakaranas ng hirap, naniniwala ako na sa unang 17 Sustainable Development Goals na dapat wasakin ay ang kahirapan. Dahil dito sa Montalban, maraming pamilya ang kumakain ng kulang. At sa araw-araw ay nangangarap ng bagong pag-asa. Bilang isang babae sa larangan ng negosyo, natutunan ko na ang pera at ang tagumpay ay kalakip responsibilidad. Ginagamit ko ang aking negosyo hindi para kumita ng pera, kundi para magbigay trabaho, oportunidad at pag-asa sa iba. Ngunit hindi sapat ang negosyo, kailangan natin maghawak-hawak kamay kung palalakasin natin, kung pagsasama-samahin natin ang ating lakas, pusong bayanihan, walang batang Montalbeño ang matutulog na gutom. Hindi hadlang ang kahirapan. Isa itong challenge sa ating buhay na kung kaya ko, kaya nyo rin. Laban batang Montalbeño. Tayo ang pag-asa ng bayan. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate number 6. Let's continue. Here is Queen of Sunset 2025, candidate number 7.
Good evening. Imagine a world where every child goes to sleep with a full stomach. Imagine where every boy and girls have the same opportunity as every members of the LGBTQIA+ community. Imagine that our waters are clear. Imagine that our air is fresh. And imagine that our communities are strong and united. Guys, these are not just fantasy. These are the promise of United Nations 17 Development Goals. These are not just words on paper. These our blueprint for us to have a brighter future. That is why I demand everyone to be familiar, to be aware, and to exercise these 17 Sustainable Development Goals to the best of your ability. Earlier, my co-candidates have chosen their favorites among those 17 Sustainable Development Goals. But for me, let's not choose one. Let's exercise them all. Because at the end, this is not just a target. This is not the attainable.
Thank you so much, candidate number 7. This time, let's have our Queen of Sunset 2025, candidate number 8.
Good evening, honorable panel. Good evening, dear audience. I'd like to be realistic, of course. With the 17 Sustainable Development Goal, one is fascinating to me because I come from a family which is very huge. I'm second from the eldest, and I've really experienced that. Coming from the province of Samar, where malnourishment, of course, is really at the high level, it's a domino effect that I have to choose, of course, to end hunger. You cannot be educated, you cannot sustain these things, and you cannot enjoy life with infrastructure if your stomach is aching. So definitely I'd like to end hunger not only in the Philippines, but all throughout the world. Remember, your wisdom, your existence will be useless if definitely something inside your stomach cannot be sustained because you are lacking of food. The government should hear us. Specifically, Philippines is an agricultural land. It's high time to end hunger because pag puno ang ating tiyan, nakakapag-isip tayo ng hindi kriminalidad. Thank you.
And last but not least, let us all welcome Queen of Sunset 2025, candidate number 9.
Camaraderie, the collaboration, the unity of one and another. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to talk about the vital and foundation of all the progress that we are facing. Sustainable Development Goals number 16, peace, justice, and strong institution. As we still continue to exist a very patriarchal country wherein we are all divided, and a lot of people are still stuck in a very misogynistic behavior, and that is the reason why crime, poverty, and so many challenges impacts our life. And in order for us to eliminate this gap, we need to have a coaxial connection, to have a collaborative effort for us to be able to break the barrier from the government and from the government to legally recognize us, not just as a Filipino, but as an abiding citizen. By that, I know for sure that we could be able to create a country wherein safe, heard, and fit for all. Good evening, everyone.
Wow, just wow! It is so nice to hear their advocacies, and of course we appreciate how you are all sharing your insights, your opinions, and how you are promoting these advocacies. This advocacies especially to the youth and to those who are part of the LGBTQIA plus community. Well, before we move closer to the crowning moment, let us first give recognition to the exceptional qualities and unforgettable impressions made by our candidates throughout this journey. These awards honor charm, character, talent, and the moments that truly stood out. Tonight, we shine a spotlight on the queens who captured hearts in their own unique ways. Let us now proceed with the awarding of special awards here at Quino Sanison 2025. And for the first award for this batch, the presenter will be Honorable SK Kagawad Raymond Sandoval together with SK Secretary Jasmine Chrissy Fonasher. This is for our Early Bird Award. Congratulations, candidate number 1, Hazel Omani. Congratulations. And for the next award, our presenters are Honorable SK Kagawad Ibrahim Gavaran together with Honorable SK Kagawad Mark Tyrone Nicolas. This is for our darling of the crowd. Congratulations, candidate number 6, Camille Camino. Thanks so much and congratulations. The presenters for our next award is Honorable SK Kagawad Princess Erica Ada together with Honorable SK Kagawad and the Zurich Yon Valley of Video. This is for our Social Media Choice Award. Congratulations, candidate number 8, Magma Sempino. She has garnered a total of 2,300 reactions, and that is why she won this special award. Thank you. Congratulations. And for the next award, the presenters are Honorable SK Chairperson Generous Joy Abato together with Honorable SK Kagawad Lane. This is for our most photogenic. Congratulations, candidate number 2, Karen Montesino.
Ay, ma'am! Yan ang kamukha mo! Number 2! Hindi nag-award?
Thanks so much and congratulations. The presenters for the next award is Honorable SK Kagawad Ibrahim Gavaran together with Honorable SK Kagawad Elizur Gijon Valdevilla. This is for Best in Long Gown. Congratulations, candidate number 7.
Sino ang SDG?
presenters are Honorable S.K. Kagawad Reina Pitan together with the Honorable S.K. Kagawad Martin Road Pulas. This is for our Best in Advocacy speech. Congratulations! Candidate number 8! Congratulations to the winners of our special awards. The journey to the crown has reached its most thrilling moment yet. Our candidates have shown elegance, confidence, intelligence, and heart, but only 5 will take the next step toward becoming the next queen of Sunset. These queens have proven they have what it takes to reign with purpose and pride. Ladies and gentlemen, the scores have been tallied, and it's time to announce